So now I'm going to transition into the 4 different examples that Immanuel Kant used to create the categorical imperative and the maxims within that philosophy. So first I'll start with suicide. Is that morally wrong or morally right to you?
It depends. It depends on the society that you're in. It depends on, again, self-preservation. For me, that decision is a very unique individual's decision. The person has to decide whether he or she does not want to continue this life. That is really a decision that is very individual. But there are societies, for example, in Japan, where in the time of the lords, where killing yourself was honorable. But no, you don't have to go so far. Today, carrying a bomb and exploding into a bus in Israel, it is a sign of something great.
Religious devotion.
Yeah. So it really depends. You know, we would consider that absolutely immoral. But that's because of our point of view and our education and our knowledge. Their knowledge propels them to do something else.
Making a false promise to secure a loan.
It is very easy for me to say that I will not make a false promise to secure a loan in this idyllic environment. But what about the person who has to feed a family or has to pay for the child health care, or he or she will die? I mean, again, that's a very individualistic decision that the person will have to make, considering all of his or her beliefs and the circumstances around that. I can tell you that today, in this moment, I would say that is wrong. I will never do that. But this is a perfect situation right now.
Yeah. But there would be a scenario where really that's your last option and that's what you have to do to continue living self-preservation or family preservation.
That very well could be. And somebody who has gone to a different level of understanding, for example, Socrates, he was asked to kill himself, and he could have gone the night before and left and lived a long life, but he chose to stay and die. Now, his self-preservation was beyond the physical.
Right.
And so he had...
Killing himself propelled his philosophies and his followers to become even more stronger
but that was a decision that he took.
So it's very individualistic.
Because, yeah, it is.
All right, so what about not donating to charity when you have the means to?
Again, it is a very individualistic choice. The way we think about that and the way the neighbor think about that is completely different. And I believe that he can justify it not to give as much as we can justify it to give.
All right, and here's a little bit different one, but still individualistic. Having a special talent, but not using it. So the 2 examples that I like to point to are, if you said Michael Jordan, he played basketball and entertained millions and millions of people. If he just stopped because he didn't feel like doing it anymore, and then all those people kind of lost the entertainment of watching basketball. Or you have a doctor who can cure all of these very difficult to cure diseases, and he stops healing people because he wants to go pursue another interest.
Yes.
So is that wrong or right to you morally?
Well, again, I go again to the individual. That individual has a right, I believe, to make a choice whether to be a doctor or go to Kenya to swim or fish. Michael Jordan does not have responsibility to entertain other people. But those are the 2 things that you frame up. What about if I'm the best assassin ever? Should I stop because it's wrong?
Right.
What about if I'm the best thief? Should I stop? So, I mean, it's not only whether you have the skill set to save lives or to terminate lives. That's a decision you're going to have to make.
Okay, so far we've discussed quite a few subjective issues. Now what about this? Do modern laws or laws of the land create morality? or does morality create those laws?
I think we, as a group, decide what behavior we want people to follow.
Morally.
We agree, yes, well, morally and in many other aspects. We say this is a good behavior, or this is something that will help the society, and this is something that won't. And then over time, those things pretty much give birth to laws to enforce the people that are not pressured by societal constraints. So I don't believe that a law is going to create a moral behavior. It will force you to follow it. Again, if you want a self-preservation and you know that being in prison for your whole life is not what you want to do, then you will follow those rules. But I think we go from the aspects of morality, creating laws to enforce. So in that scenario, we are subjugating people to those beliefs. Many years ago, it was okay to have slaves. It was legal to have slaves, and people were proud. I have more slaves than you do, you know. And look at my slaves. And today we would not think of that.
Right.
So you know, it is very subjective.
Would you say that there's some kind of, well, a very big counter-argument for this would be coming from atheism, where they say that the only reason that you and I don't kill each other right now is because there's a law that would put us in jail. That's why we don't murder each other.
Okay.
But are you saying that kind of, in maybe the chicken or the egg argument, that morality came first to establish these laws? There's some kind of value called morality that keeps us and makes us create those laws and keeps us from killing one another.
I believe that environment that you're talking about depends on time and place.
Okay.
So if the apocalyptic happened today, and you have what I need to take my family to a safe place, I'm going to take it away from you. And if you say that you're not going to give it to me, I would probably kill you.
Because in the long run, that's self-preservation.
That's
You're not going to go to jail, but you're going to be able to take care of your family.
So in idyllic situations right here, when everything is good, it's like legal contracts.
Yeah.
Nobody needs a contract unless things go really bad. If everything is perfect and we are doing everything we want, but when you have a disagreement, then you have to go to the contract. Well, I believe that we are programmed to self-preservation, and I believe that we have all these rules and procedures to make sure that we can cohabitate in this great number of peoples that we have living together. But if the whole system falls, we can revert really quick. So when I say I don't kill you, it's because we are working together towards a common goal. But when you become the problem and I have to find a solution to save either me or the family,
then what was morally wrong before is now going to be morally right in the need of self-preservation.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
This is Project Morality. I'm your host, Major Ellis, and this was Interview 7.